Hey everyone, it's Kelsey and welcome to Get Booked. Today is Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday was created by Lainey over at Ginger Reads Lainey. I will leave a link to her channel in the description below and also the Goodreads group if you would like to join. Did I just say goop, not group? So today's topic is our top 5 favourite books of the year so far. Number 5 is Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. This is the conclusion to the Infernal Devices trilogy. I thought this was a really good ending to the trilogy. I was really satisfied. I felt all the feels at the end. I may or may not have bawled my eyes out like a little baby. Actually, I've got a bit of a story to go with this. I don't cry that often, and I especially don't cry that often when reading. If I ever do, it tends to be really late at night when I'm the only one awake, and so no one sees it, so I keep all my dignity. But this, it was in like the early evening, and both my mum and my boyfriend had found me and just laughed and walked away. But my friend had called me just before I picked up the book to finish it. We talked for a bit and we hung up. I started reading, I started crying. She calls me like half an hour later because she'd forgotten to tell me something, and because I'd been crying, before I picked the phone up I was like, okay, compose yourself, Kelsey, compose yourself. And I answered the phone. She goes, "Oh, did I wake you up? I'm sorry." And I'm like, "No, I've just been crying." And of course she doesn't know it's because of a book, and she's like, "Oh my god, Kelsey, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, what's happened? What's happened in the last half an hour? Who's died?" And it's like, everyone, everything is just, what's the point? It's a book. Yeah, it's a book. And she's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm reading a book and it's really sad." And she's like, "Oh no, like, okay." And she's not a reader, so I think she just thought I was a little bit crazy. But yeah. Number 4 is a series I always talk about on my channel. It's one of my favourite series, and this was the best conclusion ever, and that's The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. This was fantastic. This was like the conclusion to like the original trilogy. This was an even better conclusion than The Clockwork Princess was. This was the best. I also bawled my eyes out just after I said I never cry, but yeah, I cried in this. This was a lot of happy emotions. Some things happened in this that were just But yeah, this is, if you haven't read these books, read them seriously. Number 3 is also another Brandon Sanderson book, and that's The Alloy of Law. This book is set 300 years after the events of the Heroes of Ages, so there is a bunch of different and new characters, and that's why I was a bit hesitant to go into this. I was kind of just really didn't want to. I was like, what's the point if it doesn't have Vin and Ellen and Says and everyone I love so much in the original trilogy, and the fact that it was so short, so I'm like, oh, do I need to read it? Like, do I have to? I read it anyway, and it blew my mind. I thought it was fantastic. Definitely not as good as the original trilogy, but that's only because it kind of couldn't be as epic as that was because of the shortness it was, and I don't think it's meant to be that way either. I think there's going to be 4 books in this like little novella series, and then the next trilogy, which I think I read on his website, is going to be set in like the 1980s, and then another trilogy set in the far future, which is awesome. It's like a trilogy of trilogies, and then just some of these. But he said there's big things that happen in this that are really important for the next trilogy, so it is a must read. And it was really good. It was really, really funny as well. I find Brandon Sanderson's humour just really funny anyway. This was especially funny, especially Wayne was just great. This is like Wild Westy, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't think I'd like it either, but I really liked it. Coming in at number 2 is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. My mum has harassed me and harassed me and then harassed me some more to read this book. She started reading it at the beginning of the year or something. We started watching the TV show last year and really liked it, and that's what made us want to read it. And I did want to read it, it's just that I hadn't felt in the mood for this, and she pretty much forced me to do it because she's forcing everyone she knows to read it because she loves it so much. She's up to like number 7. She's obsessed with it, like literally obsessed. She wants to go to Scotland. She wants to do it all now. So I finally decided to appease her and I picked it up and I loved it. I knew I would, but yeah, I'm actually really surprised at how fast I read it. I thought it was going to be like It's about almost 900 pages, so I thought, oh, it's going to take me like 2 or 3 weeks. But it only took me about a week. I just flew through it. It was really like, even though I think it can be quite slow, it's still fast paced. That's really contradictory and doesn't make any sense, but yet somehow in my mind it does make sense. It was really great. Just, oh my god, Jamie Fraser, holy moly macaroni, like the greatest man in history ever. He's like the ultimate book boyfriend. Scratch that, ultimate book husband. Like, just put a ring on me, man. I'm yours. And coming in at number 1, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. This was in my top 5 Wednesday for our most anticipated new releases of the year. And so I was really excited to get this, and I pre-ordered it, but I got it a week early for some reason. I think all over Australia it was like released early. I don't know why, but whatever, that's awesome. The only problem with that is it's like the sooner you read it and then you've just got more time to wait until the second book. Sarah J Maas is just a fantastic writer. I absolutely love it. This book was great. This was as good as Throne of Glass. Didn't think I was going to be able to say that it's as good as Throne of Glass, but it really is. In ways, I like it more, sort of, for different reasons. It's definitely more romance based. This is like a retelling of Beauty and the Beast with a fairy take on it. It's about a girl who unknowingly kills a fairy, and for that she must pay, and she either can die or go and live with the fairies forever. And of course she picks to live with the fairies forever. And in this land, the humans and fairies hate each other because the fairies used to enslave the humans, and 500 years ago there was like a rebellion, and now they live separately. There's many myths and legends about how the fae are just these disgusting monsters that hate humans and are horrible, so she's very scared to go there. But things happen, and maybe not every fae is horrible. Another note, Sarah J Maas creates like wonderful swoon-worthy guys that are just, my god. Tamlin, and possibly somebody else that I don't even know if he's a love interest or not, but I love him anyway, and I'm team him. Even though I love Tamlin, I feel like I'm cheating on Tamlin because just, yeah, if you read it. So yeah, that's my top 5 favourite books of the year so far. I absolutely loved all of those books, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't be in my top 5 favourites. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you've read any of these, let me know in the comments below and what you thought of them, and I will see you next time. Bye!